Hi, my name is Zeke Failer. I'm here with Herges Roofing. We are at the Yaco property at 8001 Pleasant Point Lane, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're here to do a simulated repair. What we're going to be doing here is documenting the ability for repair on this roof. So what we have right here is a wind damage shingle that has been suggested for repair. What we're going to do is manipulate the two shingles above it in order to pull this one out and then reinsert the shingle back in to demonstrate the ability of repair without having to put in a shingle that may not be compatible with this specific shingle. So what I have over here is a control environment. This area is not going to be manipulated at all. As you can see, it's marked control. And what we're doing over here is just demonstrating that on this shingle that has not been manipulated, we don't have any granule loss at the moment. You do see some of the chalk remnants floating around there. So not manipulated by the repair process. So we're going to come back to that after we're done, just to say that, hey, this hasn't been manipulated. We still don't have any granule loss. If we move over here, we can demonstrate that we do not have any granule loss on the shingles above the shingle suggested for repair that needs to be manipulated. The reason why I'm showing this is because when we're done the repair, we're going to come back and do the same thing. We're going to use this paintbrush to simulate rain. This is just a standard chip brush. It is less abrasive than what rain would be on this roof. So if we do notice any granule loss, we can conclude that that would continue to happen past the repair and in the future, not leaving this roof in the same condition it was prior to the storm. So let's talk about what we need to do to repair the shingle. So in order to extract this shingle, I need to manipulate the two above it, and I need to unseal the adhesion between these shingles in order to get to the fasteners. So I'll begin by doing that. All right, one thing I want you to notice here already, as I was unsealing the shingle, we have a piece of shingle coming out. This already is showing the mat transfer. This is happening between the adhesion of these shingles. So the adhesive actually lifted material out of the shingle already, just from breaking the seal there. And I wasn't doing much at all. I was moving as slow and carefully as possible to use reasonable care. But now that we have all these unsealed, I'm going to be, again, removing the fasteners. This one here pulled through. You can see that. And one thing that we'll also be able to notice is I haven't started on this side, but we don't have any granules right here on my pitch hopper. So if any granules fall out during this repair process, we're going to catch a majority of them with this pitch hopper. So we'll be able to document that later as well. But right now we can see that we don't have granules there. And then I'm going to get a photo here real quick to add to this report, just to show you that we do have a fleshly driven nail. So the installation isn't an issue on this roof. Here we have another one that pulled through. On top of that, we also have a rip that occurred here. And I'm taking these photos throughout the video. So that way they're simultaneous with the video, so there's no question as to when they were taken. But we have a rip that occurred right here as well. You'll be able to see that photo in our report. Through as well. We'll get that once we pull the shingle out. Another one pulled through, another one pulled through. This one pulled through as well. This is a great photo of this. What we can see here is as I was trying to remove this nail, the nail that I was trying to remove pulled through, and then also the nail next to it ended up pulling through as well. So again, this is all speaking towards the ability to repair these wind damaged shingles on this roof. There we are. All right. So now that we have this shingle out, all right, we don't have any identification of cellophane on the back. However, since we are here, I'm gonna go ahead and get a measurement on this. We're right at 12 inches. For the height. Right at 36 inches on the length. And then our reveal, we'll just grab right here. And we're at 5 inches for the reveal. Also, while we have this out of here, go ahead and put a shingle gauge on it. So you can see it in the video. We had a 20-year 3-tab on here. To my knowledge, there isn't a 20-year 3-tab on the market, and every 25-year 3-tab that is on the market has do not mix letters associated with it coming from the manufacturer. All right. So now we're going to install this shingle back in. One thing we can see here is the mat transfer that occurred. Actually, before I throw that back in there, I'm going to notate that. So we have MT for mat transfer, and I'm just going to put arrows where that occurs. So we have it right there. I'll get close-ups of this. So what happened here is the adhesion pulled material away from the shingle. What that does is it exposes the fiberglass, and there isn't an adhesive that'll seal properly when the fiberglass set is exposed like that. All right, so now we're gonna put them back in. Already here we can see the amount of granule loss that we have. So, for reinstalling this shingle, slide it back in here. Make sure I got all these nails out. The ones that pulled through. I'm going to be going back with new fasteners. We need 6 fasteners per shingle here, as we are in a high wind speed zone, which is required by FEMA. And several other local entities as well. All right, so all the nails have been removed. We're sliding this back in to reattach. Again, this is a simulated repair because, as we just found out, this is a 20-year shingle, and we need to go back with same like kind of quality and compatibility. So we're just reinserting this shingle that's been recommended for repair. So before I get to doing that, I want to talk about what we need to do in order to drive a fastener flushly. So in order to drive it flushly, I need to have the shingle at least up to my hammer. However, if I were to leave it right there as I'm driving the nail, I would be hitting this shingle. So I actually need to lift it up a little bit higher because no one's perfect. That way I have enough wiggle room there so I can flushly drive the fastener. So that being said, I'm going to begin doing that. I think we can already see some of the granules flying down here. Yeah, they're just hopping up off of there. Granules are just cascading down right now, and you'll be able to notice it down here once we remove this. You may even possibly be able to hear it on this one. Now we're going to go back to demonstrating, what has been done here. So we got the shingle back in here. All the fasteners are in properly. I want to go over here to the control. And again, we don't have any granule off here. If you look here right now, move these nails. You can see the amount of granules that we already have. And then we're going to come back up here. So remember, this is the area that's been manipulated. The area over here that was not affected by the storm and is still the same before the storm hasn't had any granule loss. Now we're looking at the shingles above the wind damage shingle to see what's happened here. So as we simulate rain here, you can see we have significant granule loss. I'm even noticing creasing starting to form. Not sure if we're able to see that in the video. Right here starting, and right here. Then we're gonna pop up here to the ones above, and again, we have granules flying out of this thing. So on top of the mat transfer, the fastener is pulling through. I'll never be able to put a nail back in the hole again because the hole from where the material pulled through is too large. So there's more holes in the roof that was not there prior to the storm that would be necessary. On top of the mat transfer, pulled fasteners, we have excessive granule loss. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to lift up this pitch hopper, and we can see the extent to how much granules has flown out of these shingles that wouldn't have happened had there not been wind damage here. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way, and there you go. That is an excessive amount of granule loss. We just some vibrations around here, we can see how much we're talking about. Again, this wasn't like this before the storm because the shingles didn't need to be manipulated. So with that being said, with the creases we have right here, I'm gonna mark it with a C and an arrow, and we'll grab photos of this in real time as well. Here we have some. Here some is occurring. So, I mean, as I'm just writing on this, we're experiencing granule loss. There's a crease starting to form here as well. So rainstorm comes, a lot of these granules are gonna get washed out. So with that being said, all these factors that we just spoke about, and which we will include on our photo report, we have a repair here. This was the shingle that was necessary for repair. Throughout this process of repair, it has failed. So a spot repair to indemnify this homeowner and bring them back to pre-storm conditions based off of this is not plausible. And it doesn't indemnify the homeowner, and it doesn't bring them back to pre-storm conditions.